Hello.
Okay, how are you? Haven't seen
Good.
you in such a
Excited.
long time.
Right? It looks like your heart is tame too.
Mm.
Because you said your hair had less of its own earlier, but you put let me just put this to the side real quick one time.
Yep, it's just ever expanding today. All right, guys. Welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Hit that subscriber button, notification bell, and most importantly, tell a friend. Today on the docket, we have Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 17. Real life starts now. And we also have Mama June from Not to Hot, season 5, episode 8, Road to Redemption, Mama's Lying. So we're going to do maths first.
Yes, because there was nothing there.
Well, we
Because,
got all of the decisions.
but here's the thing though, we got all the decisions, and we knew all of the decisions in the first place. We called this season from episode 3. We knew exactly what was gonna happen. We knew we nailed everything. So this was boring. This was pathetic. Do better. Hire mass Australia production. Get those people on the line. And I will say this season was dry because we only had 5 couples. So that's, I mean, if we're being honest, because in show, like, the reason why we're so in love with Australia, because one, they're super messy. There's always something to watch, and there's like double the couples. So you're
Mhm.
not focusing on the same couples for 2 hours every episode. You can mix it up, and it keeps your
Yeah.
interest. Because
Yeah, they
it keeps
start off with 12,
hmm
eliminate halfway through, bring in 3. They brought in 3 this time, didn't they? Or 2?
two.
2. Okay. But yeah, like it, Australia has ruined this maths for us
hmm
because it was okay last season.
You know what it was though? We talked about this in the previous recaps. It's because last season's couples were more entertaining by
Yeah.
far. Woody and what, Imani? What?
Mhm. Mhm.
Woody and
Mhm.
Imani. Um,
Karen and
yeah,
I can't remember his name.
Brett and
Doofus.
Olivia. Even though they
Oh,
were
and
seasonless.
the liar flight
Christina,
attendant.
Christina and Henry.
Yeah, I loved Henry. He was my favorite. What about that girl that had the douchebag pairing? Olivia, not Olivia. What was her name?
You talking about with Brett?
Yeah,
That's
I can't.
Olivia.
That's Olivia. Okay,
That's
yeah,
Olivia.
I
Amelia
like
and Emmett were quirky, but they were fun. All the couples were fun.
her.
This
Hmm.
season, it's like all the couples were. It was like a heavy season. There was no
I
real joy.
I just didn't think that they had a lot of good pickings in that city.
You said that. You said it's the pickings in the city. Like, but I'm sorry, it's Atlanta.
Hmm.
It's basically Black Hollywood. So people, you have reality TV is good there. So there was no reason you couldn't find better people or more
But
entertaining people.
did you see the preview for the next season, season 13 in Dallas, starting in July?
That looks like it could be a complete mess.
I'm here for it. I'm here
Pat,
for it.
pageant girls and cowboys. I could do it.
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
want more, but I do want more couples. 5. I mean, 5 is too little. There wasn't enough meat. That's why everything was so stretched out. Like, that's what we got. They kept showing these little unnecessary scenes. But when I
Mm.
saw Dallas, I saw Texas. Like, uh, please have someone who works for the Dallas Cowboys. Please have someone who works for the Dallas Mavericks. Have a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Have a Mavericks dancer. Give me. I need some mess.
Oh my god.
So
Well,
I'm not gonna lie. I used to watch Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders making the team.
doesn't
That was
that
my
still
guilty
come
pleasure.
on like the
But
country music channel or
it does, but
something?
I don't get to watch it because I'm watching the other stuff for our recap. But I used to watch that, and I think that was that you want a mess. That show was a mess.
Oh my God. So let's just say hi to everybody. You wanna
Yes.
take the lead?
Mm-hmm.
Go
Yep.
ahead.
I am. Hi, Susan, Black Lavender, Trey, Yanni, Michael X is here. Good to see all of you. Welcome,
Hi.
welcome, welcome. And we're gonna get started on this. Oh, Jen just came in. Hey, Jen, just made.
Hi.
We're just starting. So
Oh my God. We
here
are
we go. Here.
so, I'm so disorganized today. I do
That's okay.
apologize. Okay, so maths, let's run down the list as they went. We first had Clara and Ryan. They both decided to stay together.
Big surprise there.
Do you think she got within a foot of his peen?
I want to hear. Okay, here's what I want to hear. Either they said they had some big news. She needs to be pregnant, or I don't want to hear nothing about it.
I want her to be pregnant too.
I want her
I want
pregnant.
her to be pregnant too, but at the decision, I don't think that they actually had sex.
Hmm. But if they are pregnant, I want to see them on couples cam because I want to see her finally get what's hers.
I think that they will be selected for couples cam
I want to see them.
because he's now sporting those handlebar mustache things.
What she shouldn't do.
He shouldn't do, but it is a weird look.
It
And
suits him
her
though.
personality um, is a good offset for him. They're a multiracial couple. I think they would make for good casting.
I mean, they're interesting TV
Hmm.
because I'm not mad at them when they get on the screen. It's just more I just want certain things to happen for her. That's all. I'm hoping for her.
Okay, everybody, we're going over to Michael's house. He's baking chicken with scalloped potatoes.
Okay, yeah,
Now, in
Michael.
addition to being unorganized, I'm very hungry. Thanks, Mike.
Is that what kind of wine?
Oh, I can bring the wine.
Okay, that's fine. You have good
Hmm.
stuff. So that's okay.
Well, it's all cheap. It's all buy one get one free.
I'm just saying, like, but you pick the best. You probably pick the best cheap wine though. So I can deal with you. Some people's house I can't do the wine. I'm like,
As long as I can get the cork out, it works.
shut up. And I'm not a wine
Oh,
person either. But at people's house I'll drink wine if they have it.
oh, Gin doesn't think she's
I'm just
pregnant.
hoping. I'm just hoping, Jen. I'm just hoping. That's why I hope that they're pregnant. I'm just hoping for her.
Now I'm going over to their side. I think I don't think it'll be what we're all hoping for, but okay.
Okay.
Um, I didn't believe him when he said that he 150% wants to stay married to her.
I do because
She give
he
good head.
well that too. But
Mm,
he sees her like he understands why he was matched. He understands what she brings to the table. But he also understands himself. He knows where he's lacking, and he knows that she fulfills where he's lacking, and he can fulfill where she's lacking. So he's very organized. He's very detailed. He's very um he thinks of everything in the equations of what will work. So I think so.
you know what it's going to be? The big reveal is that he told her that he loved her.
Probably that's more
Mhm.
feasible.
Mhm.
So I
Okay.
don't see you staying married to someone you don't love. That's just my opinion.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so next up is Haley and Jacob, my favorite couple. And they stay together. No, just joking.
Yeah, right. We we knew this was a dumpster fire for we had. I will say this. I had hope for them, but with this couple in particular, I really feel everything had to go right for them to stay together. I mean,
Mhm.
from the very beginning, like the disconnect, I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, like a plinko chip on The Price is Right. Everything's gotta fall the right way for you guys to stay together, and it just didn't. It just didn't. You could see how they could work, but there were so many emotional roadblocks in their relationship. It was just
Mhm.
wasn't gonna work. It's like basically having to pitch a no like a perfect game in baseball. or a complete like a nil-nil shutout in football. I mean, European football, not our football. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like everything has to go right.
Yeah. It's amazing how well they knew each other, and I think that's probably
Right?
why they didn't work. I think that they're both stubborn. They're both stuck in their own ways,
Mm-hmm.
and they both self-sabotage. They were a lot like each other. It was kind of crazy. Um, I love it that Pastor Cal tried with the Hail Mary and said, what if Haley says, let's stay together? What would you say? And he's like, we had 8 weeks to try. Next.
Right?
And then she jumps up and she's just like, I want a divorce. Like, you got to get the last word, girl. I can't
Yep.
stand you. That's why you're going to die alone, just like me.
It was just hilarious because they won the Who Knows You Best challenge easily,
Mhm.
and I'm like, y'all the same person. That's why y'all can't. That's why y'all can't get along.
Mhm.
That's the exact reason y'all the exact same person.
Yep. Hi, Nisei. Oh my God. All right. So they put Chris and Paige in the middle of this shit show.
You know what?
6 hours to film their stuff. Like, for real, for
Trash.
real. I,
Trash.
kudos to Viviana for saying, I think you want
Mhm.
to, damage her, and I think you want to punk us. Like, no, not having it.
Mhm.
Dr. Pepper sat there with a frowsy face on her face, and Pastor Cal was just like, what's going on here?
Right. I thought Dr. Vivian was just gonna throw them off the stage.
Honestly, why did he said, and I'm talking about Chris, he disclosed that woman's medical information on national TV.
I was like, yeah, no.
But he prefaced it by saying, I meant to call you and tell you. Like, why didn't you do that? This
Mhm.
was just one stunt after another for him. And when he ran out to the car, where were the tears? Like, does no one know about old school glycerin? If you gonna play like this, like, I'm sorry, I need to see one tear, one runny booger running out of your nose, something. Oh, I hate these two. And then as soon as he started like saying one little kind word towards her, her smile beams and she's like, oh, I'm ready to hop back on this ignorant train again. The two of these are the most disappointing people I've ever seen in my life. I hate them so much.
My favorite part was when I think it was Dr. Viviana was who was like, okay, I have to ask this question. Why did you keep going back?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, somebody needs to ask that question. Good job.
It was just like unbelievable. The stupidity that we witnessed. And we got this out of 6 hours.
Six,
Child.
6 hours.
I don't get it. But who I do like, that producer, when she walked out and said I couldn't take it anymore, and she's like, I came in here looking to get, a divorce, and now I'm just doubting myself. And the producer said, why are you doubting yourself? What's changed between when you came in here and now?
Yeah. Speak
Put that
on it.
producer on the experts panel, please.
Why was the producer the highlight though?
I don't know. Between her and the one that said to Paige when Paige asked where Chris went, and she's like, I don't know, I think he left. Between those two producers, it's like, yay.
The
I don't know.
producer
Go
for
ahead.
me it was producer for the win.
It was just a letdown. Really
Of course it
was.
was.
It was a letdown.
Because the thing is, the reason why Chris and Paige were on the show is because they needed to fill out these 2 hours. Otherwise, they really could have wrapped up all the stuff in an hour. I'm sorry.
That's true. That's true. But in the end, I thought that in addition, well, no, I don't even think anything about Paige anymore. But I do feel like the experts were traumatized by this couple from both of them.
They were. They were.
They looked physically exhausted after this. And then the next day, Viviana's like, okay, it's a brand new day. I sprayed some Febreze on my armpits. We're good. We're
Can
going
I,
into this fresh.
I'm gonna ask this question for the people. If this is a 2-day event
Mm-hmm.
and you're coming back the next day, why are y'all all wearing the same exact clothes? I just need to understand that.
I think this was supposed to be a 1-day shoot.
No, they said that. Viviana said that, we this was supposed to be 1 day, but we had a 2-day option, so we
Mm-hmm.
took that option. I just want to know, if you took that option, where was your other set of clothes? Why couldn't
I
y'all
don't
change?
know. Maybe it
I'm just
wasn't in
saying.
the budget. I don't know.
Just saying.
But
But I'm
kudos
with
for them.
but I am with Jen. It's like every time with Paige open their mouth, I wanted to just sock her. I'm sorry. And I don't really like violence, but oh my god, I just I see so much potential in him. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, shut up. But then you want
Mm-hmm.
to say, but then she said somewhere in there like, I feel like I look like a fool. I'm like, yes, you do. We've been
Every
telling
time
you
she
that.
opens her mouth, she does look like a fool. And I agree with Trey. It was probably for
Hmm.
continuity in filming.
I
I
agree.
need alcohol.
I agree, Trey. But they've already. I would agree with that. But they already acknowledged that they're coming back for a day two. So changing clothes would only make sense.
They ain't had no budget. You get one set of clothes, bitch. That's it.
They
And a
got Marshalls.
squirt of Febreze.
They could have ran off the DDs and got something for like $12.
Was Viviana looked like a whole hot mess in that like Lakers flamenco outfit. I didn't know what was going on. But what I love
He
Dr. Pepper's hair though.
look. I mean, Viviana was serving, King Sierra realness.
Okay, if you say so.
I'm trying to help her out. That's why I'm just trying to help her out.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, the next disaster is Virginia and Eric.
We knew they were staying together next.
I do like that he was so excited to like get down on one knee and, propose to her again. Did we see when he asked her dad for permission?
Yeah, he
Oh,
asked her
okay.
dad, like, I want to ask her to stay married, and the dad was like, I completely 100%. You have my blessing. I will say this though, Virginia looked good. Her skin looked good. She looked much
Mhm.
fresher. So I have a feeling they've been working, on lessening the alcohol intake because she looked really good, really fresh. She was articulate. He like you could with them. To me, it was a no brainer. They were going to be together because you could just see the attraction from the beginning. It's just they had their issues. It was mostly communication, and I like the fact that she communicated clearly, concisely. Like before, she would
Mhm.
communicate as directly as they would have before. Like this was super direct. They didn't run. They couldn't run away. That's what it was. That's what it was. They're on when you're on that couch. They can't just run away and sweep it under the rug because you're sitting there. Decision day. You're in front of the
Mhm.
experts. You have nowhere to run. You have to be honest. And I hope they keep this sport.
You know what I just thought of? Like all of this was filmed during the panorama. And remember, she says that she goes out with her friends Thursday through Sunday to like all of the bars. If
I
the
I
bars weren't
I,
open,
I thought they were going to her house and drinking since it was.
well, I think that's a backup, but I think it's more of like a social thing.
Hey,
They're heading out to bars.
hey, Stephen Crisco, welcome.
Hi.
But
So that might have
Jen,
been it too. Like a cut down on all that
mm-hmm.
socializing hanging out at other people's house if you don't know, like, where they've been.
Jen, Eric came off so desperate. I wouldn't say desperation, but he just didn't want to have another failed marriage under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
He was very adamant about that, and he wants kids, and he knows he's not getting any younger. So I get it.
He's invested a whole 2 months into this relationship, so that's a lot to lose.
You're right.
I want to see it next week. I want to be disappointed like everyone else. I'm sorry. Okay, so anything else for these? But he only gave her a little, like, a pink rubber ring or something. What was that mess he gave her?
I thought it was a natural ring.
No.
Oh, that's too
Like,
bad.
give me Woody, who actually popped out an engagement ring and gave it to Amani.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so disappointed in these losers. Okay, next up to bat is Brianna and Vincent. I was confused. Where was she going with, like, I am me and I'm not changing for nobody, and you got to take my directness. And then he was like, here's a cheesecake. Will you marry me? Say what?
The cheesecake was
Cheesy.
it was, but it was good.
And he put it on the floor. No. I don't know what warehouse they're in. How many feet have been stomping all over that floor? Like, they could not have, like, a stage person come and give that to him off camera. Like, I don't get it. How long that cheesecake been up underneath that stupid couch? Ew.
Right.
But yeah, she accepted. And everything seemed to be on her to change. What about him trying to change his sensitivity?
Yeah, that's the thing with him.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I think that they will get on the follow-up show.
Yes.
Because he'll do anything to get on that show, considering his business isn't doing anything.
Here's the thing. Question for the chat: what couples do you think add? I think all three should be added. Personally, I think all three should be on
You
couples
want
camp.
all three? Eric and Virginia too?
Yes. The reason why, and this is mean, but I want to see if they'll actually get past the reunion. Because either they're gonna
Wait.
improve, or crash and burn, and I
Wait.
want to see both.
Does anyone in the chat think that Virginia and Eric are just a stone's throw away from being a 911 call? Like, seriously, I have doubts about this couple. Her facial expression throughout her whole segment was like, I don't know, trepidation. Like, yes, her skin looked 1,000% better. Could also be stage makeup, but the expression on her face was not like, oh, I'm so happy to be here. I don't know.
That's why I want them on couples camp. I want to see the aftermath. I'm sorry, I just do.
Trey, I have doubts about Vincent too, but
Yes.
I think that he's more focused on trying to find someone to be of a emotional and financial support. So he'll do anything to keep a roof over his head.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he might want to try to improve that website too, but that's just my opinion.
No one is going to pay you to do what your dealership already does. Like, he didn't think that business out well.
No. What he should, what I would have done if he like Carson must do, open you a nice detailing shop. That's what I would have done.
But for the high-end cars, don't they detail when they go in?
For where?
Like the high-end cars, when they go into the dealership, don't they do a detail?
But most people don't want to take their cars to the dealership because the dealership charges a premium on top of it
Oh,
because they charge you for just going to the dealership.
so you want, okay, so like there's a I get what you're saying now. Okay, so there's a luxury car wash, hand car wash at a high-end mall near
Mm-hmm.
where I live. And yeah, like while you're shopping in the mall, they are doing a super detail and they charge hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, because what you do is you want them. The mall's the perfect place because people can go shop while you detail. It's a
Mm-hmm.
perfect location. And a place like Buckhead, which is affluent, you want to have one or two of those because people really don't want to have to drive into Atlanta just to get their car detailed. That's the
Mm.
business. Like you said, Vincent, what you are doing, dealerships can do for you. Do something that's sustainable. High end cars always want to look good, so that's very sustainable.
Hey, Gatatua. Oh my God. Okay, so at the end of the episode, all of the couples get together, and at first, Chris is the only one who's not there. And they're in somebody's backyard, and they're sitting down, and it's the first time they've seen each other since the decision day.
Hmm.
And so they catch everybody up on what decisions they made. Um, Halfway through, Chris decides to arrive.
That was
Um,
hilarious.
he has a box. What was in
That
the
was hilarious.
box? Um, I will say he did apologize to everyone.
Hmm.
The only person who accepted was Eric. Again, very nice.
But did you see the? But did you see when he came in, the whole mood just hit the ground,
Yes, it was like someone threw ice water over everybody. Everyone was like, "Yeah."
and they all looked at him like, "What are you doing here? Who
Does he
invited
not own
you?"
a watch? I know I saw him with a Movado on. Like, why can't he ever arrive on time for anything?
I bet you he wasn't invited. Production called him, told him where they were. I bet you he wasn't invited. I believe it. I think that he wasn't invited because when he walked in, like he was super late. If you
Mm-hmm.
know you have to be somewhere for filming and this is money, you're gonna be on time. But
Yeah.
when he walked through that gate or whatever, and everyone saw him, and the mood just hit the ground like a 1,000 pound cement block.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, and they looked at him like, "What are you doing here?" I still think production set, did that.
Oh,
So I think they
God.
weren't they at Ryan and Clara's because that's somebody's house, and I think it was Ryan and Clara's because it's like they were already there when people were coming in.
Oh, okay.
So, and the backyard looks familiar. So this is someone's personal house. This is not something production set up. So they don't really mess with Chris like that. They don't like Chris, but they love Paige. So it's understandable they would invite Paige without Chris.
Yeah.
Production did that. They sent him a text like, "Chris, this is where we is."
I do have a question, though. Not really a question, a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, whoever helps him to dress or to buy his clothes, I want them to stop. Like they're not a friend. This outdated Pee Wee Herman esque suits and outfits are really, really irritating me. Why do we need to see half of his foot in his pants? Is he wearing knickerbockers or is he wearing a full trouser? I know he's trying to get this European look, but I have yet to see any actual European cut trouser that is midway up your calf. I'm just saying, it's not a good look.
It's just working your nerve, huh, Debbie? You just can't do
It
it.
is. It just looks like a day late, a dollar short. I like he's just. It doesn't look cute. Does anyone find this trouser trend attractive? Are any of the like is Vincent doing this? I don't get it.
Mm-mm. I'm gonna say no.
Do any of you dress like that? The
I'm
gentlemen?
going no. I wear things that tend to fit. Just saying.
Because like the suit jackets, they always look super tight. I don't think his cuff is in proportion. His shirt cuff is in proportion to the jacket cuff. I think that the shoulders are cut wrong. I always think like it's riding up on him, and then he never opens the buttons when he sits down, and then you see half of his leg, as if like I capri pants. Trey, yes, he's actually wearing capris.
Oof. Not capris.
I don't get it. And
Okay,
it's every outfit.
as a man, I'm gonna help Chris out on this one. We will not be calling those capris.
Those are
No,
capris.
no, we will call them clam diggers, as he's a man, and that's what I'm going with.
So you wear clam diggers?
Of course not. Slacks, jeans, sweats. I'm a firm believer, and I don't care who disagrees with me. You're welcome to. As a male, unless you're wearing shorts, your pants should go down to at least the top of your shoes, if not a little bit past, depending on the shoe.
No, you got to be
You should,
careful of the break. I don't
hmm?
like a lot of break, like a lot of bunching material on top of the shoe.
Obviously, maybe, well, how can I put this nicely for the people? Um, when you go shopping, you should be trying the pants on, and you should know your length. Just so there should be no bunching. Just saying. I've never had bunching material in my pants. Just, just saying.
Okay, so was that it with this bum show? Oh my
That's it.
god. All right, guys, now
Pedal
let's get
pushers, not the pedal
pedal
pushers.
pushers.
No,
Yes.
the pedal
Or
pushers.
better yet, they're like Uber high waters.
Like you waiting for a flood. Yeah, I got you.
Uber high waters. But no, I still like the capri pants. Thank you, Trey. Okay, so for the highlight of this show, Mama June from Not to Hot, season 5, episode
Mhm.
8, Road to Redemption, Mama's lying.
Yes,
We open up with Josh walking into June's house and saying, Alana, let's go.
he was not playing. I was like, Josh is not playing about Alana, and I appreciate him for that.
I mean, somebody has to be the parent.
And June was
Somebody.
just mad. She was mad. I'm like, what you mad about? Like, he's the legal guardian. What are you talking about? He's just
And
like, literally, he's responsible
yep.
for her. And what I had a conversation with another creator. I said, well, here's the way I look at it. People need to realize that Josh and Pumpkin are legally responsible
Mm-hmm.
for Alana. If
Mm-hmm.
something were to happen while she was in Florida, they would look. The authorities would look at them like, why would
Mm-hmm.
you leave Alana in the care of two recovering addicts? And I wish people would really look at that aspect of it and quit trying to say like, oh, well, she's the mom, she has rights, she does, but legally, it's not a good situation for Alana at this time.
Mm-hmm. Yanni, you're referring to when June said that I signed over the papers to you guys for guardianship. Is this what we're talking about? Because I did pick up on that. Yes, she did sign the paperwork and made them guardians. But they're still guardians until June is made fit and she gets back guardianship of her minor child.
Hmm.
Until that time happens, then, you know, Josh and Pumpkin are Alana's guardians and they have the say over where she is and what she does and who she associates with. And I was on point for Josh going to get her.
And
On
the thing
point.
is, with Guardians, I think where people need to realize it's not really an emotional thing so much.
Mhm.
The reason why guardians are appointed is because the parents are not fit to, like to take care of the children at the time.
Mhm.
So for the guardians, their sole purpose is the welfare of the child. Period. So now I did have this argument with someone offline. I'm like, well, no, like look at this is what they're signed up to do. So we're Pumpkin and Josh are like we have to protect Alana at all costs, whatever we can. Yes, she's 15. She has some awareness, but it's our job to protect her. And then the person, like, once they understood what I was saying, they're like, okay, like, you're not saying, like, she's not the mother. You're just saying, like, they're in charge of her well being. I'm like, exactly. Until June can get it together, they have to take the hard stances sometimes. And they chose this hard stance because they can see the manipulation that June is trying to pull on Alana.
This is a fair point too, Yanni. And I think that June gave up her rights to temporarily, I will say that temporarily, she gave up
Mm-hmm.
her rights to Pumpkin and Josh because if they were stripped from her, there was no guarantee that a judge would give Alana to Pumpkin
Mm-hmm.
and Josh. So it was a way for me, in my opinion, I think to ensure that Alana went to the person that she knew would take care of her best, as opposed to winding
Mm-hmm.
up in the system.
Right. Because what
Okay,
would happen is if
is
they
it
didn't go ahead, go
no
ahead, no finish.
as to whether it would be easier for her to get Alana back? I think that is subject to her behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You
To
know.
piggyback on what you're saying is like yes, because in her situation, June ran the risk of Alana being put in the system, like you said. So it was better for her to sign the papers to at least so she knew she had a better chance of getting Alana back. Once she got herself together. Because from what I understand about the system, is that if the judge rules against you and puts the child into the system, it's a lot harder to get them back. Even if the child wants to come back, it's hard.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm just going through the comments here. Okay, so, all right. So, you know what? And I have to give Gino credit here because in this particular scene, um, he asks a question. He goes, "Did we do something wrong?" And I think Josh was straight up with him, and said no, as her, guardian, she needs to come home. She has a lot going on. And Gino was like, oh, okay. And then after they left, Gino kind of settled down, not kind of, he did settle down June because June was getting ready to call Pumpkin and go all the way off. And he snatched that phone and said, no, that's just going to make it worse,
Mm-hmm.
which tells me that Gino is paying attention at therapy and June is not.
Steven says this shows that June made the best decision for her daughter. It shows she's a good mom. It's just I think what she was in a rock and a hard place, and I think she had a moment of clarity of like, look, in order for me to at least try to keep my family somewhat together through all my mistakes, this is the best. This is the best thing to do for Alana, and she definitely did it.
I think a lot of people were probably not pressuring her, but giving her the options. Go into the system, wind up with Sugar Bear and Jennifer,
Mm-hmm.
or Pumpkin and Josh. Which one do you want?
Because what would have happened is has she not I have a feeling has she not signed over, Sugar Bear may have gotten Alana.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As he's a parent that's quote in and out of her life.
When all the things wrong, I don't trust Gino at all. Okay, so fake Debbie, he knew. Okay, do I trust Gino? No. Do I think Gino's a con artist? Yes. But in this situation, I think he handled it better than June did
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
arguing with Josh, and June was ready to argue and assert her right as a parent, and she signed away that right temporarily.
Agreed.
Okay, so good for Josh. Okay, so yeah, so they drive back. Alana doesn't have much to say. Um, then we see Pumpkin go into Dodo's house. She looks a bit shook, and Dodo's there to help, try to reassure her in her parenting and her decisions. And is this where Dodo tells her that yes, that June is lying regarding the her upcoming trial and stuff like that? Dodo tells her what June told Dodo last episode. Was it last episode? I think
Yes,
so.
last episode.
Yeah. So now Pumpkin's like, okay, I don't feel that bad that Josh went and got her.
Yep. I like
Okay.
Dodo a lot too.
We also get a little insight into Dodo and June's upbringing because this is what June's mom did to June. And that's why Dodo had to help raise June.
Yes.
So I'm so grateful that Dodo is there to help out Pumpkin. These names are redonkadonk. Oh my god. What else?
It's
What
funny, like when
else
they
happened?
called when Jennifer called Sugar Bear Mike, I'm like, who was that?
Yeah, that's his government name.
I'm like, who's Mike?
Mike.
I don't know a Mike. Who is Mike? And I'm like, oh, okay, got it.
Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay.
Okay, so then we see the two sisters, Pumpkin and Jessica, talking on the couch. This is before Josh and Alana get home. I think she brings Jessica up to date on everything that's happening. Then Josh and Alana get home. Alana is tired. She's pissed. She goes straight to her room. Josh tells Pumpkin what all happened. And then we see Pumpkin go and talk to Alana. And she lets her know that mom was lying.
Yeah, she had to. I mean, because Alana needs to know, like, we're not doing this to be mean. We're doing this to protect you. And what they're trying to do is preventative maintenance because they don't want Alana to get swept up into the lies. Because I look at it this way: like, what if Alana moved in with them, and then they wound up going to prison? That would be traumatic on her again.
Well, yeah, like, okay, so what they referenced was they did a flashback, of how she was behaving when June first was going down that slippery slope and she was living with Pumpkin. Remember, she did that little video thing on
Yes.
social media where she was
Mhm.
pretending to be snorting. And, Pumpkin had a hard time with her. Can you imagine a teenager? Their mom leaves them, and they're going through all of this moving and all that. Like, it has to be hard on her.
Yes.
She had a really hard period. Pumpkin doesn't want to go back to that.
Right. It took a lot. From what I could see, it took a lot to get them out of her, get her out of
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. So, like, you don't want to hurt her, but you don't want to
Mhm.
see her um, get hurt unnecessarily because your mom is lying to you.
Correct.
you know I think she told her in the best way possible that that both of them are facing jail time, and she doesn't want her to get her hopes up that she's
Mhm.
going back and living with her mom, when how is that possible if they go to jail?
Mhm.
you know but what I did not like about this scene, okay, so when she was down in Florida, they drove overnight or whatever, she had like two long nails and all the other nails were ripped off, and they were like a gold and a white. And when she gets home, I guess Josh took her to a 24-hour nail salon because she had a full new set of baby pink nails.
Oh, editing. Too bad for them.
That's all I'm saying. I want the name of that nail salon.
She loves her some nails.
I don't know how she does her schoolwork with those. Like I have to
Exactly.
keep my nails cut low just to type regular.
Same.
Anyway,
What do you
Alana
think?
asked,
Was this episode when June thought she was going to the glamorous jail?
yes, we're getting to that.
Okay, so that was a trip.
Yes, but I liked it when Alana asked who would take care of June if Gino goes to jail. Like she worries about her mom. I thought
She
that was so
does.
sweet.
She
That was
does.
so sweet. Oh, but Gino need to be going to jail. I don't care. So Gino's packing up the stuff out of the house that they're in now because they're moving to a new place. June is trying to have a therapy session with her therapist, Jessica. Too much noise. He kicks her out. This therapist, like this is how I know June don't pay attention in therapy. She wasn't listening to nothing that this woman had to say. It was June's way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
How rude. And the woman wasn't telling her anything wrong.
Nope. She's going
So,
here.
so then after that, that's when Gino comes in and goes, there's no celebrity jail. There's just prison and prison. And she goes, oh, well, Martha Stewart went to the prison with a chef. And he goes, babe, she was the chef. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You got people in there beating the crap out of you, stabbing you. They're calling you bitches and MFers. Like, you're going to get beat up. Nobody cares
Right.
that you're Mama June. And I was like,
Right.
yay!
Exactly. It's like when she said celebrity jail, I was like, what? Where is this at, ma'am? Like, where do you think you're going? There's no celebrity jail.
Oh,
And being
Gino
a
laid it
quote
down.
and being a quote unquote celebrity,
You're a target.
you're a target.
Oh my God. I hope she
Well,
got it from that. I said,
Yanni said that's where that prison in South Jersey that Apollo and Joe went is almost like a private club, but she's not on that level, Yanni. She's not on that level.
yeah.
Yeah, she on weed, so she wanted to like Folsom or something like that.
She gonna wind up in the chain gang down south in Alabama. She gonna be cleaning the side
Mm-hmm.
of the road with shackles on her legs. I'm sorry.
Pay no trash
Uh,
with a stick.
yep.
Just saying.
um, let's see. It's Ella's third birthday party coming up, and they're filling gift bags. Dodo comes over with cookies because she wants to get the dirt on what happened now that Alana's back. They go through everything, and Dodo says the girls deserve the truth from June. So when she leaves, she calls up June.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying the same thing. You can't be lying to these kids. You've got to come clean and let them know what the reality of your situation is. And I think it's a way of June actually acknowledging what she's facing, because I think she's been trying to push it to the side and ignore it, and you can't do that.
I
But
completely agree.
yeah, Dodo seems to get through to her amazingly.
I think what it is that them going through what they did growing up with their mother.
Mm-hmm.
I think June is starting to get it that you literally keep lying, and this is not a way to get your family back together. And they
Yeah.
keep telling her this over and over. Pumpkin said it, Josh, and now Dodo is saying it. She's like, look, you have to tell them the truth. And I think Dodo's the
Mm-hmm.
only one she really listens to.
Yep. Yep.
Like she's the only because she feels this is the one person who really looked out for me my whole life. She's never done me wrong. She's just literally been my person. So she's gonna take it in and listen. And I'm glad she
Yeah.
did this time.
Yeah, and like that was one of her last warnings to her before they hung up. Dodo warns her, don't mess it up and risk losing your girls again. You know. Um, then we see that I guess June sent a text to Pumpkin saying that she wanted to do a video call and
Mm-hmm.
sent her the link or whatever. Oh my God. June's image on that laptop looked really eerie. It looked like Dark Shadows eerie. Like I'm going way, way, way back.
I know
But
what you're talking
yeah,
about.
she looked like Barnabas Collins. Oh, that was scary. But she comes forward and she lays it out. But when she did, I got very scared because she did say that she's facing 2 years and Gino's facing 10, and more than likely he's going in. That the last lawyer they had wasn't that great. He didn't do anything for them, but she's now going to be the lawyer. Is that what she said?
I thought she said she was getting a new lawyer.
I thought she was going to get a new lawyer who was going to be amazing, but I
Right.
swear she said to these girls that she's been doing like some research and she's going to go and talk to them and tell them what happened.
See, I hope you misheard.
Did anybody else hear that in the chat? Like, I'm she confuses me so with all of her double talk.
Hmm.
But yeah, at least she came clean to them.
Yanni has a good point. I like
What?
to see her 2 to 6 months at least. Maybe we'll save her life. I agree.
She lied again? No huge lawyer? So she doesn't
Mm-mm.
have a lawyer. Oh my God.
You're facing jail time with no lawyer. Great.
Oh my God. Um, well, this is kind of scary. Wait, hold on. What else happens? So they're trying to figure things out. Gino, she did admit that Gino wants her to tell the truth, which is good. At least
Hmm.
one person in this relationship is trying to keep them on the straight and narrow. Um, Alana says something that I totally agree with. She goes, I would rather know what might happen to you so that I can prepare myself.
Yes, I'm the same way.
Yes. And that was the most adult thing that she said, you know?
Remember, she said she's going to. Yep, you heard it right.
So she
I
did.
thought. See, I
Okay.
heard something. I heard something along the lines, but I thought I misheard it.
I was like, is she what? What? Oh my God. We TV needs to step in and get her like some, I don't know, day of court counsel.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. This is frightening for me. Um, During the middle of the video call, Pumpkin jumps up and goes to the bathroom, and she's sick.
Yep.
But I
Hmm.
think this confirms to her that she might be pregnant
Yep.
because she's been revisiting her change in eating habits because she was trying to eat healthy, but I think like starting around the trip down to see
Savings.
Mama. Yeah. Uh, she thinks she will not serve time. No lawyer defending herself. Jesus. I am so scared for this woman. I am so scared for this woman that she is using the internet as her defense.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Is it because she doesn't have any money to pay the new lawyer, or he doesn't he doesn't want to defend her? Oh Lord. Let's see. June June tells Alana to get on her history homework, and maybe she can help her with it. Focus on your law career, June.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, and then we see poor Pumpkin saying it wouldn't be the best time to be pregnant. She comes out of the restroom and she asks Alana, to give Ella her lunch. She has some errands to run. We see her go down to the local pharmacy. She gets the pregnancy test, goes into the restroom. Did she take the pregnancy test right there?
That's the way I took it. That's the way it came across to me, at least.
See, when she asked for the restroom, I thought she was just sick again. I didn't think she was going to go and take it, but the way how she came out telling all the cameraman to leave her alone.
Right.
Okay. I guess she did take it right then and there. She gets back home and Josh is there playing with oh wait, before that, Alana and Ella are playing in the backyard, right? And
Right.
Alana is winded and comes to sit on the back porch, and Jessica calls her out on her eating habits and that, she was playing with the baby and is winded. And so, and warns her about the diabetes. And Alana's like, I don't have that. Stop telling me about myself. I don't want to hear it. Alana. Like, come on now. How many honey buns did we see on that little table that she was going to inhale? And why was I jealous that I wanted a honey bun?
Especially if you heat it up and put some butter on it.
Butter?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of heating it up, but not butter.
Yeah. Telling you.
Oh no. That's too much for me. Because
Okay.
they're like super sugary and then you're adding butter?
Yes, to cut the sweetness. Because the salt cuts into the sweetness.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of butter, like all over the top, or just like
what you want to do, you put like a little bit in the middle, and when you put the butter on before you heat it, so that way when you heat it, the butter just spreads and goes in the honey bun. Yeah.
I have never heard of this.
Because what happens is because it melts and it melts onto the plate, so you can just as you cut the honey bun or
slop
whatever,
it up.
Yeah.
You know I'm gonna try that, right?
I know you are.
Oh my god!
That's what I told you.
Think of buttercream icing, but it already has the icing. It has the sugar icing, but now I'm putting butter. Oh, warm honey bun with real butter. Off to the kid, Steven. Like seriously, I don't even have any honey buns in the house. You're making me leave my home. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, so I love it that Alana told her sister, how about she go out and get a job, like a real job in an office, like a stripper.
Like a stripper in the office. I was like, what kind of office is that? That was too funny.
This poor child is so screwed. She is so screwed. Jesus. Okay, so next we see Josh playing with Ella on the couch. Pumpkin gets home and wants to know what the hell are you doing? And he's like, playing with my child. And she's like, you better find a job sooner than you were looking, anticipating, and throws the pea stick at him. And he kind of looks catatonic.
He had this look like, well, how did this happen? I'm like, well, sir, we know how it happened.
Wow.
Prego.
So yay, Mazel Tov to Pumpkin, who announced this past weekend that she is indeed pregnant. This is how you keep quiet on a storyline. Hint, hint, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So yeah, Mazel Tov. This is their second baby. Did she announce whether the gender or anything like that, or did she just say she's pregnant?
I think she's pregnant.
Okay, so that's good. It's not so good he doesn't have a job, but maybe this will get him jump started. They are a cute couple. I think they balance each other out. I think that they've gone through a lot of hardship, more than their fair share at their ages, but I think they've handled it with grace. Yay.
It's a good episode as always. I just enjoy the show because it's good.
Yes, and right on the 1 hour mark. Guys, thank you for hanging in there with us. This was Mama June from Not Too Hot, Season 5, Episode 8, Road to Redemption, Mama is Lying. Please leave your comments below for either Mama June from Not Too Hot or Married at First Sight. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think about the honey bun debate. I'm out of honey buns, substituting apple cinnamon Danish with rhubarb. Shut up! I cannot stand you guys in this chat
Still
today. Good. I am so hungry now. And all I have is apples and grapes and carrots. My life sucks.
Butter doesn't work well on those, I'm sorry.
I'm going to the store. Anyway, now that I'm hungry and crabby, leave your comments below. Give us a thumbs up. If you have a honey bun, give us a thumbs up. Or better yet, send one over to me so I can try it with the butter in the microwave. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and most importantly, tell a friend. 7-Eleven run. I think everybody's going to get a honey bun now. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Until next time, Jamal.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.